All right, yesterday I stopped putting in third gear, so we're starting on the other side of the machined in piece. The first thing I'm going to do is rebuild the synchro housing, and that's pretty simple. You drop in your pieces. Nice. I tell you one thing, being distracted by filming is a whole nother ball of wax. And then the springs go in. And then carefully turn it over. I'm going to try that again. Well, I just ran into an issue. If you see these little ears on the side on these, they're a little bit longer than the ones that came out of here, which kept the springs from pushing hard enough and allowed it to come apart. So anyway, I went ahead and reused the old ones. Now, whether that caused me problems down the road, I don't know, but it is what it is. All right, take the roller cage, pre-lube it. I'm using AMSOIL. Like I said, I'm going to put a link when I get done to my buddy. He's a distributor. It's no bearing on the gear. Now, if you look, you know, people say, oh, you see that ring on there? That ring corresponds to that ring. Now, if you look at the other side, you can see kind of two. Well, if you look down here, there's two there as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to put this on. Now, there was one guy that said, oh, you got to do this upside down, or do some of these upside down. Well, I'll show you what I'm going to do over here on the press, and you can make up your mind. Anyway, we're going to take this portion over to the press and press this portion on. Oh, boy, that would have been good. Now, if you watch these, it sits right in where it belongs. Oh, I'm sorry, this wasn't the portion that was upside down, but we will deal with it here in just a sec. I'll set up over at the press. I didn't restart the video. Thought I had. We pressed in this way. There's several ways of pressing it in. The one upside down is later on, and I'll show you that later. Anyway, I just put it in, used some purple locks, parked it up this way. All right, we're coming down to the tail end on this portion. Synchronizer slides in and lines up. Spacer before the bearing. Then we're going to pre-oil the bearing. Then our gear slides on. Now, we have the pin here. All right, before I had to stop just a second ago, I put the pin in, put the spacer in, make sure it lines up. Then you're ready to press the bearing on this way, and then the gear this direction. Someone was talking about having to turn it upside down, but that's not really the case. Or at least I don't think it is. I'll find out here in a minute. So anyway, I'm gonna set the press up, and then I'll show you what I mean by that. All right, I'm gonna use this pipe. It fits on the inner race, and then I set the press all the way down. So I'll get this on and we'll press the bearing on. All right, I got everything lined up. Get everything on completely on that inner race. All right, I think we're there. Grab our pipe just to make sure. And it looks like we're good to go. So now I'm going to check the bearing or the gear and make sure that it looks like it'll line up enough. And it does. So the next thing is, because we're a little bit taller, I'm going to use a little bit different piece of metal across the bottom. And I'll line that all up and be right back. Guess what? That gear just dropped right on. So all we have to do is smack the retainer in. And there we go. So the output shaft is done. I'm going to set that aside for right now. and we'll move on to the next step.